We all love this team. We love the grit, the culture, the fight. But deep down, we also know there's been one thing missing. One piece that could completely change the way defenses line up against us. And suddenly, not one, but two major possibilities are being whispered about that could redefine this offense overnight. One involves a proven superstar with big game experience. The other, a rising weapon who might be closer to breaking out than most people realize, both tied to the same mission, finally giving our quarterback what he truly deserves. And the crazy part, neither move would be small. These would be franchise-altering decisions. Cap space, draft capital, aggression, intent. Something is building here in Buffalo, and if even one of these scenarios becomes real, the entire AFC has to start paying attention. Before we dive into what's really going on, do me a quick favor. If you're a real Bills fan who lives and breathes this team like I do, hit that like button and subscribe. This channel is brand new. We're pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers, and it's being built for fans who want real, honest Bills talk. If that's you, you're in the right place. All right, let's talk about what could be coming next. So the first situation everyone's talking about is the possibility of the Bills pulling off what's being called a dream trade scenario. And yeah, that phrase alone tells you how big this could be. According to Mo Moton from Bleacher Report, the Bills should seriously consider trading for Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown. And when I say seriously, I mean aggressively. He literally called it a dream scenario for Buffalo. Now think about where we are right now as a team. We've been searching for a legitimate number one wide receiver. Not a solid piece. Not a good complementary option. A true go-to guy. Someone defenses fear. Someone Josh Allen can look at on third down and say, I don't care who's covering you. Go win. Last season, Khalil Shakir led the team with 72 catches and 719 receiving yards. 72 catches, 719 yards. I love Shakir. He competes. He's tough. But if that's your leading receiver, that tells you everything about the state of the pass-catching group. Moton didn't hold back either. He called the unit mediocre. And honestly, that word stings. But it's hard to argue with it. Now imagine plugging in A.J. Brown. Over 105 career games, Brown has 8,029 receiving yards and 56 touchdowns. That's not potential. That's production. That's consistency. That's dominance. He's played in 2 Super Bowls with the Eagles. Won 1, lost 1. That kind of experience matters. We've been knocking on the door. We've felt the heartbreak. Bringing in someone who's been through it, who knows what it takes on that stage. That's not a small thing. And here's what gets me excited as a fan. Brown has never played with a quarterback like Josh Allen. Not with that arm. Not with that playmaking ability. If he's putting up those numbers already, what happens when you pair him with the best quarterback of his career? That's scary. In a good way, but here's the reality check. This wouldn't be easy. The Bills are about $12.3 million over the cap threshold right now. $12.3 million over. So financially, there are hurdles. Real ones. Moton mentioned that Buffalo would have to reallocate cap space to gain flexibility. That means restructures, cuts, tough decisions. This wouldn't be a casual move, it would be a statement. And let's not ignore the cost in draft picks. A player like A. Brown is not coming cheap. You're probably talking multiple significant picks. That's future capital. That's risk. But here's the thing. Didn't we just make a bold move recently when the team dismissed head coach Sean McDermott on January 19th because we couldn't reach the Super Bowl under his leadership? That wasn't small. That wasn't conservative. That was the organization admitting almost isn't good enough. If you're willing to be aggressive with leadership, why not be aggressive with talent acquisition? Now, there's another layer to this. As of right now, the Eagles haven't officially engaged in trade talks involving Brown NFL. Network's Mike Garofalo reported that there haven't been active discussions yet. But ESPN's Jeremy Fowler talked to league executives who believe the Eagles are at least expected to entertain offers for the 3-time Pro Bowler. So, it's not guaranteed. It's not even close. Philadelphia has to actually be willing to move him. And if they are, It won't just be us calling the New England Patriots could be in the mix. Yeah, a team in our own division, and they've got plenty of draft capital and cap space to make a serious offer. Can you imagine Brown lining up twice a year against us instead? That alone should make Brandon Beane pick up the phone. The next month is going to be fascinating, because this is about more than one player. It's about whether this front office is ready to swing big. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because while everyone's dreaming about a blockbuster move for a proven superstar, there's another name being floated, someone younger. Someone evolving. Someone who might cost less but still completely change this offense. And honestly, the argument for that move might be just as compelling. Let's talk about the other option that could finally unlock Josh Allen. Now let's shift to the second name that's been gaining serious traction. And this one comes from CBS Sports senior NFL columnist Pete Prisco. He believes the Bills could try to land Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce. And at first glance, some fans might say, wait, Alec Pierce, that's the move. But hear me out, because when you dig into this, it gets very interesting. Prisco didn't hesitate. He flat out said if he were the Buffalo Bills, he would do everything in his power to go get Pierce. Everything in his reasoning actually makes a lot of sense when you look at where this offense is right now. The Bills' attack has been heavily quarterback driven. We all see it every Sunday. When structure breaks down, when the pocket collapses, when a play isn't there, it turns into Josh Allen improvising, creating, putting the entire weight of the offense on his shoulders. That's exciting. It's heroic. But it's also exhausting. And it's not sustainable if your goal is a Super Bowl. With Joe Brady expected to continue building the offense around Allen's strengths, the conversation has resurfaced with urgency. This team needs a dependable number one weapon. Now here's where Pierce enters the picture. Early in his career, Pierce was viewed as a one-trick pony, speed guy, straight-line vertical threat. Just go, 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 as Prisco described it, but last season, that changed. Prisco said Pierce developed into a complete wide receiver. His route running improved. He became more aware of how to attack coverages, he got better at understanding leverage, and maybe most importantly, he improved on 50-50 balls. That's not a small evolution, and the numbers back it up. Pierce finished last season with a PFSNWR impact score of 84.6. That ranked 9th league-wide. 9th. He ranked ahead of Nico Collins, CeeDee Lamb, and Drake London. Think about that for a second. Those are established names, and Pierce's impact score jumped above all of them. That signals growth. That signals refinement. That signals a player who's becoming more than just speed. He has 17 career touchdowns already, and it's not just vertical bombs. His improvement in separation and contested catches adds layers to an offense that, let's be honest, has sometimes lacked reliability in critical moments. How many times have we watched 3rd and 7 turn into Allen scrambling because nobody separates? Now imagine adding legitimate vertical speed that forces safeties to back up. Imagine defenses having to respect that deep threat every snap. That stretches coverage. That opens space underneath. That makes life easier for everyone. Prisco even painted the picture. Can you imagine putting him out there with that speed? He said about pairing Pierce with Josh Allen. And that's the key, fit. Pierce doesn't have A.J. Brown's Super Bowl resume. He doesn't have 8,000 career yards, but he might be ascending. And he might cost less in draft capital and cap flexibility than a blockbuster trade for a superstar. So now you have two very different paths. One is proven dominance, big game experience, immediate top-tier presence. The other is youth, development, explosive upside, and schematic fit with Joe Brady building everything around Allen. Both options address the same glaring issue. This offense cannot keep asking Josh Allen to be the entire system. And that's what ties these two stories together. This front office knows the window is now. They've already shown they're willing to make aggressive decisions. The question is, will they go in on a headline-grabbing superstar? Or invest in a rising weapon who could grow into that role? Either way, the message would be clear. They're done settling. Now, when you put both of these possibilities side by side, what does it really say about where this team stands? Let's wrap this up the right way. When you step back and look at both of these possibilities together, It tells you something loud and clear about where the Buffalo Bills are right now. This franchise knows the window is open. Not maybe someday, not we're building. It's open right now. On one side, you've got the idea of going after a proven superstar like A.J. Brown, a guy with over 8,000 receiving yards, 56 touchdowns, and real Super Bowl experience. That move screams urgency. It screams, we're done waiting. On the other side, you've got Alec Pierce, a receiver who just posted an 84.6 PFSNWR impact score, ranking 9th in the entire league ahead of names like Nico Collins, CeeDee Lamb, and Drake London. A young weapon who's evolving, who fits what Joe Brady wants to build, and who could stretch the field in a way we've been missing. Two different paths. Same message. This team understands that if you want to finally get over the hump, if you want to stop falling short in January, you have to give Josh Allen a true number one weapon. Not a committee, not a rotation, a difference maker. Because as much as we love watching Josh play hero ball, we've also seen what happens when defenses can focus everything on him. We've seen the moments where there's no separation, no bailout option, no one who just wins on their own. And that can't keep being the story. To me, this feels decisive. Not desperate, not reckless. Decisive. It feels like a front office that's finally looking in the mirror and saying, we're too close to stay comfortable. Now, whether it's a blockbuster swing that costs major draft capital and forces cap gymnastics, or a calculated move for a rising star who fits the system perfectly, the direction is clear. They know something has to change. And as a fan, that gives me hope. Real hope. Because the worst place to be in this league is stuck. And right now, Buffalo doesn't feel stuck. It feels like it's preparing to move. All right, Bills Mafia, if you're excited about the idea of finally getting Josh a true number one receiver, drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you go in for the proven superstar, or would you bet on the rising weapon with speed and upside? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And if you're a real Bills fan who wants honest, passionate takes, no sugarcoating, subscribe to Bills Nation Update. We just launched this channel. We're pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers, and we're building something for real fans who live and breathe Buffalo football. Let's see what this front office does next. Go Bills.